I'd like to talk about something that's been on my mind for a really long time. It's a very curious thing, and would love to know what your perspective is. So, if you go to a product page, you're traveling on your desktop or on your phone, you go to get to a product page. You are seeing one of two versions of this page. You're seeing either the mobile version or you're seeing the desktop version. What's really interesting is that the description, which is the product description section on the lower half of the page, is identical for both devices, right? And I'm sure you've seen this hundreds and thousands of times, and you've seen it so many times that you've probably never stopped to think about why it's that way or if that's the best idea. Because to me, having studied buyer psychology for many years now, we know that there's a clear distinction between someone who is searching on their device, on their phone, versus someone who is using a desktop. Typically, people using their mobile phones are higher in the funnel, they're earlier in the search process. People on their desktop are later in the search process. Also, people on their mobile devices are more distracted because they typically are multitasking. They might be, talking to their kids or watching TV and they're on their phone. So their attention spans are different. Yet the description is identical. A great analogy would be, imagine if you had a retail store and a customer walked in and you were able to actually read their brain, and you knew that the person who was walking in was an early stage buyer who was distracted versus someone who'd been researching for a decent amount of time and had your full attention, which is the distinction between mobile and desktop in this example. You would tell them a completely different explanation for what your product does, how it works, why it's the best in the world. Yet on our websites, on our product pages, and our product pages are our salespeople, essentially by extension, we are telling them exactly the same description, the exact same details, whether they are on their mobile phones or on their desktop. And you can actually expand this idea a lot more, and you'll realize it takes you to some really interesting places. For example, what if someone comes on a weekend versus on a weekday? What if someone sticks around for 5 minutes versus someone who's there for 45 seconds? Clearly, these are all different types of buyers, yet we're showing them the same content. And I think it's a massive opportunity. So in this video, we're kind of going to limit ourselves to this whole idea of the description for mobile versus desktop. And my point is, and here is the other argument that people sometimes will have, which is that, oh, we're doing this for SEO reasons because Google prefers it. I don't see any evidence of that. I've actually never seen an example of a mobile description that is different from a desktop description. This could mean one of two things. This could either mean that some really smart marketer has figured out that or has tested these different formats and concluded that the only format that works is to have the exact same description for both. Or it's an overlooked opportunity that none of your competitors have caught on to. So I want you to think about your product, think about your website, and really ask yourself, should I be giving them exactly the same description, whether they're on their mobile phone or on their desktop? And you'll realize that the answer is no. Have a great day.